Maverick Vinales, Miller, Quartararo and Pecco Bagnaia. Last week's poleman go from row 2. What about the world champions? Aleix Espargaro, Franco Morbidelli, Stefan Bradl and Miguel Oliveira are on row 4. You've got to go along to will start the 22-lap race.
1 week ago, the 118 kilometres this race is going to be, and after 42.5 minutes,
the last 3 MotoGP races to take place here under the famous Losail International Circuit floodlights we've ever had in history. Last weekend's barnstorming start of the year, that was the 4th closest top tonight.
Joan Zarco, everything is ready for him to try.
And for Zarco, that was his best race result in 45 since he was second in Jerez way back in 2018, of course, when he was on the Tech 3 Yamaha. Can he make it a half-century of career podiums? Well, everybody fancies the Ducatis to make the start. There is Martin Zarco. What about Fabio Quartararo, who was excellent last night in FP4? He thinks Yamaha's 100% winning record going.
Number 36 last week from 10th on the grid, Joan Mir. It should have been in the hunt for this. Never count out a world champion. Together pretty nicely in the early stages last week. They were both very aggressive as well. And what of Aprilia's chances tonight?
For Jorge Martin, it wasn't a disaster, was it, last weekend? 5th row start for Martin, given how great. 4th in the first corner. 4 Ducatis rocketed into the top 4 places by turn 1 last weekend. Expect the same kind of story off the line.
Surely it's going to be Ducatis. Here we go, green flag waves here in Qatar. It's the Tissot Grand Prix. Solid start from pole, even though he's got a wheelie, but Martin is flying through. Look at the Ducatis, also good.
Sensational launch off the line, absolutely incredible. His teammate Joan Zarco in 2nd place. Great start by Aprilia, also had a really good launch. 7th to 3rd, wouldn't be surprised Stefan Bradl looked like he might have twitched, maybe a jump start.
He's down to 10th behind the 2 factory Yamahas, who are 8th and 9th, by the way. What a start for the Suzukis as well.
All right, yeah, the Suzukis just where they wanted to be. Not the start though for Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia. Missed the start. Martin and Zarco certainly didn't.
Fabio Quartararo has moved up into 7th ahead of Jack Miller.
There, the door was open. He just picked up Miguel Oliveira. Of course, he's not got a lot of experience, Oliveira, on that medium front tyre.
Which from Joan Zarco's front end, and that gives Aleix Espargaro an opportunity as well. But we're looking at the moment in 5th, Joan Mir then behind. Here comes Mir now. 2 Suzukis now inside.
He's been picked off by Aleix Espargaro, Alex Rins, and now Joan Mir, the world champion.
On to the start, finish straight board. Here is that. Yes, it is. Miguel Oliveira, Fabio Quartararo also trying to get on terms. Jack Miller, path.
1.3 seconds on that opening lap.
Ooh, sitting up there was Pecco Bagnaia. That was a move on.
Quick check on Valentino Rossi. If you're a Valentino Rossi fan, you might want to stick your fingers in your ears right now. It's made by the doctor.
And if Maverick Vinales is winning again tonight, he's got to do it from further back. He is down to 10.
Well wide. Miller came one through. There was no jump start, so Stefan Bradl absolutely got it German, although he hasn't capitalised on it. He's down in 18th place.
It's still Martin that leads from Zarco and Aleix Espargaro. Also, really good start from...
Over 4/10 of a second clear of his Pramac Ducati teammate Joan Zarco. At what point does Jorge Mar rise? That was Mir running Fabio Quartararo right out the marbles. You can't get on the gas too early. Oh,
yeah, so already the Yamahas not quite in a stronger position as they were 1 week ago. The Suzukis
I last the whole race distance. They had big trouble from about the halfway point last weekend. How much are they going to get more light? He's just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, a 55.189. That was a 10th quicker than your race leader Jorge. Start was sensational. He made a phenomenal start last weekend. Tonight's was just as...
Aleix Espargaro
is he in
up
hot?
through. He's in hot. Zarco on the cutback, goes back through into 2nd, on board with...
Didn't he on the pack? Rins up the inside of Aleix Espargaro. Costly couple of corners then for Aleix Espargaro.
Goes through into 3rd.
This bodes well for a strong result for the Suzukis because they've already got themselves quite strong. We know it's pretty well known, but the Suzuki can be gentle on that rear tyre. It can nurse the rear tyre very...
Be quite surprised he's not seen anyone's front wheel yet. You just wonder, don't you, if Zarco's reluctant to go with him, because he
can't believe that this guy has been on a MotoGP bike for less than a fortnight.
Here comes Rins, he's thinking about a move. Here we go into turn 16, the final corner here in Qatar.
Mir swarming all over his rear tyre. The world champion can't find a way through. And there's no way that Rins is going straight. He's not losing a lot of ground though. The headwind, which is blowing, perhaps not as strong as last week's race, it will...
Behind Jack Miller, the pair of them, ahead of Quartararo.
Yeah, Vinales still down in 10th place. Circuit, he did take the place from Brad Binder. Binder in 11th now.
Looking further down the order, Franco Morbidelli, he's not made any headway. 13th for him, ahead of Nakagami.
Still stuck in 21st place.
Simon, you got some observations early on here.
No, only just big nightmare here at Qatar, and look at him go.
Yeah, it's a good start from Oliveira, we just mentioned that, and Binder also a good start. He's behind the two factory Yamahas. Alex Rins closes on the tail here.
In Suzuki's agility and corner speed through the fast rights, 12, 13 and 14. Got the momentum as well. It wasn't an easy pass, but he made it look easy in its execution.
On to the start-finish straight we got.
Alex Rins, all the hard work to do yet again. He has a bit of a moment on the front end there as well, going into the first. Still, Jorge Martin, our surprise shock pole man from last night, that's making the front running.
Yeah,
he's found a way through this time, but again he runs in wide, and Zarco, he won't need any second invitation.
Have another go. Here comes Alex Rins up the inside into turn 6. This time it does stick.
They've had a few mega tussles in the past, haven't they?
So it's now Pramac Ducati's 9th and 10th right now.
Here comes Quartararo. Oh, it was tight. He might have left a bit of front. Michelin standing firm ahead of him.
You have to wonder, don't you, if Vinales has got the bike underneath him, that he finally old game.
It's a long, long race though, isn't it? We know that tyre management is going to be absolutely essential. Yes, he's not where he wants to be. He didn't get the start he wanted, but let's watch this replay. Error, absolutely nailed it. Stefan Bradl went backwards. I think he thought he moved. I think he did move. And then
he is now in between the Suzuki and the Ducati, trying to stay in the game. Great job so far. Liliat, a couple of rounds ago at the end of 2020.
Factory Suzuki by the red rocket in the hands of the Frenchman.
Here he is then, he's being asked his first question. Martin.
Yeah, and he will know, he will hear Zarco's Desmond Fedici about it. That's the problem. He's got to try and get the brilliant drive out of turn 16 to break the toe of Zarco.
At the back there, that's Fabio Quartararo. He's been trying desperately to find a way through on that factory.
They've been backed up behind Oliveira for some time here, and Martin Rins, Zarco and Aleix.
It's got to be committed. Didn't fancy it. On board now with number 42 Alex Rins as we then head into.
If he finishes in 4th place, he wants better, of course. That would be Aprilia's best ever MotoGP result. Zarco, and it's going to be an inevitable outcome. There's nothing that Rins can do about it. Soul destroying. But
on the start-finish straight. By the way, fastest lap of the race, Aleix Espargaro on the Aprilia, 54.798.
And it was a slow, not slow, but not on his red-hot pace in the first 2 or 3 laps. That confidently he can start picking his way through the pack.
Alex Rins still trying to find a way through here. On board here with Vinales, the race winner from last time out, cannot find a way through here on Miguel.
154s, the 4th being Franco Morbidelli, who's got an awful lot of work to do coming from 12th place. Over a race distance on that medium front, no surprise to see him going backwards. Maverick Vinales, the latest man to pick him.
Martin on lap 7, leading in his 2nd ever MotoGP race. Around the final to the tail end of that Ducati of Joan Zarco's, but he's not passing it.
And here comes Bagnaia, top of your picture. Ducati, and just like Zarco did to Rins a couple of laps ago, Bagnaia does it to the world champion Mir.
Yeah.
Impressive, the pace of Bagnaia. Once he was able to dispense of Miguel Oliveira, he's very, very quickly got his hooks his lap of the race. A 54.491, a new race record.
He worked so hard yesterday in FP4 on really used
work done based on last week's information. They won't hit the same kind of tyre problems that hit him around lap 4. Big tyre drop off from the rear last weekend.
It feels like a matter of time before Bagnaia. Joan Mir's trying to get back in on the action as well, the world champion. Further back,
no choice to go for the medium front tyre given the fact that the soft wasn't lasting. Well, they did have a choice, of course they could have run the soft, but 20th on the Tech 3 KTM. That was a move made by Alex Rins, has taken 2nd, and he's trying now to get some slipstream behind your race leader Jorge Martin.
The Ducatis were being even slipstreamed by the Yamahas, so Rins at the moment doing a good job, but he using again.
And pay attention, Steve, the 2 quickest men on the circuit right now are the Monster Energy Yamahas. That was half a second quicker than your race leader Jorge Martin. Vinales 2.2 seconds behind Martin.
It would be some ride from Quartararo and Vinales. on lap 9 to manage to get through. He's not going wide anywhere, everything is perfect.
He's the epitome of cool, calm and composed enough to show him my wheels. Martin will know he's there.
Rins was really missed.
You could just see how tighter, with its better corner speed, its better turning, how much tighter the Suzuki.
Is there a move coming into turn 15 from Alex Rins? He's lining it up, he's on. No, brilliantly late on the brakes is Jorge Martin, and he just about holds on. Will Rins have a look into turn?
Is here in Losail.
9 laps completed, and here comes got to be done again from Alex Rins. It must be so frustrating as a rider going so past by his teammate Brad Binder. Yeah. There is Franco Morbidelli. He's hot on the tails of these.
Morbidelli, disastrous opening night for him last weekend, circulating 18th. He only finished the race at Petronas Yamaha SRT machine.
This is the battle back with Rins to Zarco.
Yet again, Steve, the only man in the pack in the 54s last time a race. He can see that the leaders aren't getting away from him, so he's not having to over-stress that rear tyre. Vinales race leader Jorge Martin.
These guys are getting a bit nervous.
Well, if they think they've got no fingernails left now, yeah. Yes, how much rear tyre is Jorge Martin having to use up here to keep himself?
There are the two Yamahas. Lynn Jarvis won't be panicking yet.
I don't think Vinales will.
Champion. And look at the Ducati. Jack Miller's going to take 2 for 1. He goes by both Mir and Aleix Espargaro and says thank you very much.
As soon as they get that thing wound up to 4th, 5th and 6th gear, there's nothing that the other riders can do. Aleix Espargaro gets it up to 5th and 6th gear. They're just lacking that little bit of outright top speed. Nothing he could do.
Where it all went wrong for Aleix Espargaro coming out of turn 16. He lost 3 places from 16 to turn 1 from last week. Maverick Vinales, you can see there,
he's done it again.
Quicker than the race leader Jorge
so far.
Matt, a shout out to Brad Binder in 10th, who's just put in the 2nd fastest Binder.
Yeah, quickly got his head around that medium Michelin front tyre, as he Brad Binder. Really good rescue in 20th spot. He's 4/10 of a second though behind Taka Nakagami, who ran off and lost a bunch of places at the first.
Rins in 3rd.
Top 9, Steve, at the start of the last lap. The top 9 covered by 1.
Fantastic stuff. Very exciting. Edge of the seats here in the commentary box, that's for sure.
Hit the halfway point. Is Vinales attacking his teammate Fabio Quartararo? No, not quite close enough in the braking zone. Has led all 11 laps so far and still looking very, very comfortable on that Pramac Ducati.
The two, Jack Miller, it's looking okay so far, in a good position. The 2K, by the way, 13th, Morbidelli 14th, Bradle 15th.
Quickest man on circuit right now is Jack Miller. Found a way through on the factory Suzuki of Joan Mir. Can he find a way through on the factory Suzuki?
Oh, he was nearly down. Stayed on, the front was gone. Wow. Unbelievable save.
They knew that, they knew that. Yeah, it was last week as well, Steve, recovering from a poor start. He said he destroyed the front and the rear tyre. Big brill, good duel here with Fabio Quartararo. At the moment it's advantage to Spaniard, but Alex Rins, big man. That was close.
Quartararo has gone past the Aprilia of Aleix Espargaro, who looks like she's falling backwards, and he's now going to lose a place, I fear, to maybe Maverick Vinales as well. How Bagnaia goes through on Rins.
Well, Ducati cannot believe it. There's their... We have never had a Ducati lockout of the podium. There's a long way to go here. Still plenty of life in there, with Miller looking seriously threatening as well in 5th.
I just want to say as well, Matt, keep an eye on Joan Mir, because he's sent behind Jack Miller in 6th place.
Rins has regrouped after his big scare a couple of laps ago. Jack Miller lurking in the background, coming down that start-finish rate very quickly. We won't have a Ducati top 3 yet.
Jack Miller nudging him wide as well, putting his leg up. That's the 2nd time Mir has had contact.
Mir merciless on Miller. Lovely, aggressive. All's fair in love and war. It was a...
Knew it was a bit cheeky. That's why he sticks his leg up here to say, yeah, sorry, mate.
Brilliant.
Right on his tail. Bastianini again.
Oh, that was Rins. That was Rins. He's having moments galore at the moment, Alex Rins.
Yeah, side to side. They bash into each other.
Yeah, hand up from Jack Miller.
That's payback. Oh, now the two buddies, Maverick Vinales and Miller, almost make contact.
Getting pretty feisty out there right now.
Espargaro's eyes are lighting up, Matt. They are lighting up.
What happened here between Mir and Jack Miller?
Look at that. Jack Miller is upset with the world champion Joan Mir. We'll have to pick the bone. It's Rins, but of course there's a bit of a gap that's just formed after the mistake from Rins. Fabio Quartararo, well placed. There's Ikolekowona's crashed out of the race. Tech 3, a nightmare for them. Pol Espargaro, keep an eye on the... Got something to add?
Yeah, guys, what I can see there, before Jack Miller and Mir came to use that engine, keep getting in front, frustrate the heck out of those Yamahas and Suzuki, they have to fight back in the infield. They've got no choice, and that's why with
a proper brawl going on. Gloves off, no friends here on circuit.
I mean, find out after the race, but that looked like a bit of instant retribution to me.
Nice move from Quartararo on Pol Espargaro, again closing on Joan Mir. 55.2, he was sick.
He was confident in terms of his race pace. Poor qualifying down in 15th. He can't get any pace out of that Repsol Underon. 8 to go, and it's still Jorge Martin. He hasn't seen the rear tyre of anybody in this Qatar Grand Prix.
He's got 3 Ducatis up ahead of him, so he is going to have to get his gloves off, as Simon mentioned, in the infield right now. He's looking very good indeed, El Diablo. And Alex Rins has
Ferraro was a clear favourite, although Alex Rins is going to pick him off coming into turn 12. He's a bit wide though, and Quartararo...
That was a move from Fabio Quartararo. And by the way, whilst all this is going on, Jorge Martin's incredible. Through we go.
We've had fireworks already here, haven't we, in Doha. Jorge Martin, a pretty decent margin, couple of tenths back to his teammate Zarco. Lace Espargaro's in way too hot.
It's just amazing that they're able to even still be in contention here. Jorge Martin's behind all of these guys. He's not seen any of them yet.
Yeah, that plan has not been
Oh, sorry,
19th place.
I thought Quartararo was going to have a desperate lunge. Brad Binder into this as well. He's doing an outstanding job. Pol Espargaro and Brad Binder, and Bastianini for that matter.
You would not have thought we'd be saying this on lap 16, but Jorge Martin could win this.
Broken.
Certainly the closest
margin.
Top 15, Steve. The point scoring places down to Stefan Bro. 2GP folks, not Moto 3.
Oh, here we go. Fabio Quartararo, lovely.
Yeah.
Block pass. Now he chases down the 2 Pramac Ducatis. It's Frenchman, 2nd and 3rd. They're still
due to respond. Pecco Bagnaia just eases on through. Miller also the same in the slipstream. Big mistake.
Oh, Pol Espargaro.
Well, he needs his pass to get back into the circuit. Surely that's podium hopes gone for us. Miller's got beef with Joan Mir, we know that.
Crucially, another rider we need to keep an eye on is the race winner from last week. He can sniff another victory.
I mean, ordinarily at this stage of the race, Valentino Rossi only 9-second race is 2.4 seconds, not even 2.5 seconds, covering the top 11 men over the line.
Choice, and Pol Espargaro then he'll shoot down through into the bottom. That will be frustrating because Pol had a great ride up until
for the first corner.
So then Quartararo in 3rd, trying to find a way to duel.
No further action then taken after reviewing the incident involving Miller and Mir, which is good to hear. Charge towards what would be a brilliant victory for him. First out of the top 10, really.
It is incredible, isn't it? It is just incredible.
The expected tie drop off for Jorge Martin just hasn't come. Miller picks up Fabio Quartararo into the first corner, sees his 3rd place straight back. There's been no tie drop off for Jorge Martin at all.
No, it's
side of Alex Rins, nicely done into turn 4. Vinales just starting to ghost his way into podium contention
between Ducatis and Yamahas, and they're all there, aren't they? Bagnaia obviously made. Dan Zarco would be championship leader going into Portugal, but forget the live championship for now. There's still 5 laps left of this. Oh, here comes Quartararo.
Oh, yeah.
That was lined up from a couple of corners ago.
Blue on blue.
Can he hold on to it though?
So then Fabio Quartararo threatened this in FP4. He was very confident. Supreme.
Actually, Yamaha boys. Here we go. Here he goes. Through goes Fabio Quartararo, and for the first time of that, because here comes also Maverick Vinales.
That was Yamaha's famous corner speed and edge grip that of Martin on the brakes into turn 15, but he set it up through 14.
Watch this.
Look at that final corner. The best drive he's probably had all weekend. Immaterial. Absolutely nothing he can do about the Ducati.
You've got to believe that Quartararo is going to line up another move in the next few corners and then try and build an advantage. Here he comes now. So it is at the front, Fabio Quartararo, and it's surely a matter of time.
It looks like the first lap. It's unbelievably close. The top 10 riders split by less than 2. the top 15, 5.3 seconds. Incredible.
Simon.
Yeah, got through the infield that they can hold first down the straight.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do. I just want to remind you, if these Yamahas will go finish 1 and 2, I want to take you back to the first.
Quartararo checking out. He has not been able to get through at turn 15. He's not going to be able to outdrag the Ducati. He knows that, and that's a mistake that's come from Maverick Vinales. That's all because he could see Fabio Quartararo
is to go, and this is now the chance. Simon mentioned it a moment ago. This is Fabio's chance.
Here in Qatar, he's half a second clear of Jorge Martin. That's the biggest advantage we've seen in this Grand Prix pretty much since the fourth for what will be a sensational podium finish.
He's pushing at the front. It's Fabio Quartararo. He's trying.
Joan Mir, the world champion, he's down in 9th place. He can't find a way through at the moment on a Lacia Spargaro. And Martin, if he's got desires, of course he has got desires to hunt down his teammate Fabio Quartararo.
Limits warning for Maverick Vinales, by the way. Now that would be a disaster for
with its agility and turning in that tight infield section to try and break the toe back to Jorge Martin.
Really going to feel a bit rough after this if they stay in 6th and 7th. Jorge Martin is still doing such an amazing...
Like a rolling roadblock for the Yamahas. Vinales doing everything he can to try and get through.
Past there. And that's given a bit of breathing space also to Jorge Martin. Zarco knew he'd have the speed on the start.
Just been brilliant here. 55.182, fastest man on the circuit. And that means he's been able to get...
Stories in this. All the manufacturers are inside the top 10. Sorry, Hondas are missing because of what happened. Martin, I cannot believe what we've seen from him tonight.
Given his experience and his lack of...
His Maverick Vinales, heavy, trying to find a way through.
He's getting a bit desperate, Steve. You can see the way to get on the podium with Martin and Zarco so strong in front of him. Rins on his case as well.
It really would. That's going to sting. Joan Mir has gone past Lacia Spargaro, the world champion, moves up to ace of his life. This week, Fabio Quartararo, the best race of his life.
Yeah, he's ridden absolutely brilliantly. Didn't panic.
Pramac boys of that Yamaha. Can they get close enough? I think Quartararo is okay at the moment.
Zarco just thought about a move there on Martin to turn 15, but he just couldn't make it through. Martin was so late on the brakes and 0.7 back to Jorge Martin. That's exactly the scenario for Fabio Quartararo. He knows exactly what he has to take. A crucial gap here, and Vinales is wide into the first corner. Rins sweeps on through, and that could be...
But now this gets personal because Zarco has got a championship to think about.
Jorge Zarco didn't like being beaten to pole position last night by his teammate Jorge Martin. He certainly won't want... What was that? Fabio Quartararo just hit.
Has he hit something on circuit? Or has it come off his bar?
Late problems for Fabio Quartararo because his last 2 laps in this race have been absolutely on a different...
Fourth, and that's all it will be for Rins and Vinales. Who comes out on
here? It's all about the Pramac Ducatis. Are they going to trip each other up? Zarco trying to get close. Trying to make a move for second place. Here it comes up the inside of turn number 15. Nicely done by Joan Zarco.
It's Zarco versus Martin for second, but the race winner tonight, no questions about it. A stunner from Zarco. Martin finishes third, the rookie, in just his second ever Grand Prix. 15 being covered by 8.9, the top 14 covered by 6.4. In
race 1 victory for Maverick Vinales. Race 2 goes to Fabio Quartararo. 2 Pramac Martin from pole. A French 1-2 here in Qatar. Can you believe that? Worth the wait for French fans.
Vive la France! Quartararo and Zarco are 1-2. Ducati did not run out of steam. The factory Ducati boys, this is going to hurt. Really is going to hurt. They're in 8th. Unreal on the KTM. Let's hear from Massimo Marigali. I'm sure he's delighted for that win.
Mayo, you're an ex-rider. And from my eyes watching him,